Sarah. You came. I ran toward her, almost tripping over the rug. Of course, I did. Would I miss your birthday? She laughed, hugging me tightly. I'm so glad you're here. Wait till you see the decorations. I went a little overboard this year. I waved at the balloons, streamers, and a giant cake on the dining table. They look amazing, Sarah said, glancing around. I didn't know you had this much energy left after last week. I shrugged, feeling a flicker of nerves. I had to make it perfect, you know. Asim appeared from the kitchen, phone in hand. Everything's fine, don't worry, he said, almost too quickly, and then glanced at his screen again. I forced a smile. Are you sure? You seem distracted. I'm fine, he muttered, tucking his phone into his pocket. Go enjoy your party. I nodded, letting it slide. Maybe he was just stressed. The doorbell rang, and I ran to open it. Gifts piled up in the hallway, laughter spilling from the living room. Happy birthday, everyone shouted. Thank you. I beamed, feeling my heart swell. Sarah nudged me playfully. See? All this for you. You're officially loved. Finally, I whispered, scanning the room, noticing the smiles, the chatter, the warmth. Asim stood nearby, leaning against the counter. You look happy, he said softly. I am. Isn't this what we worked for? A simple, joyful day? I asked, trying to meet his eyes. He nodded, but I caught the flicker of distraction as his phone buzzed again. Everything's fine, he repeated. Really? I let it go. Maybe I was overthinking. Sarah sat beside me, whispering, ignore him. Enjoy your moment. I smiled gratefully, then turned to greet more guests. Thanks for coming, everyone. Please, grab snacks. Make yourselves at home. A friend joked, don't eat all the cake before I get a slice. I laughed, lifting the lid off the cake. No promises. Amid the fun, I noticed Asim checking his phone again, slipping away to the balcony. I frowned but brushed it off. He's probably just handling work, I murmured to myself. Sarah leaned closer, whispering, don't let him ruin your day. Look at everyone else, your friends are here. I know, I said, forcing a laugh. I wanted him to be fully present, that's all. Asim returned, offering a half smile. Sorry, it's just a lot to handle today. It's okay, I replied. Let's just enjoy the party. The laughter continued. Glasses clinked. Stories were shared. I felt that warm, cozy happiness I'd been craving all week, even if Asim seemed miles away despite standing right beside me. Cut the cake, someone shouted, snapping me out of my thoughts. I took a deep breath, smiling as I held the knife. All right, everyone. Make a wish. Sarah whispered, make it a good one, okay? I will, I said, secretly wishing that maybe, just maybe, this birthday could be perfect, before reality began to creep in. The room was buzzing with laughter when Asim's phone rang. He glanced at it, then hesitated. Everything okay? I asked, smiling, trying to ignore the pit forming in my stomach. It's nothing. Just work, he muttered, glancing around as if hiding something. I frowned. Work? On my birthday? He shrugged, his fingers tapping the phone nervously. It can't wait. Sarah leaned over, whispering, he looks tense. Something's wrong. I nodded, forcing a laugh. Maybe it's nothing. Let's just enjoy the party. But then his face changed. His eyes widened, and the color drained from his cheeks. Asim? What's wrong? My voice wavered, heart pounding. He swallowed hard. It's Hina. She's had an accident. Serious. My stomach dropped. Hina. Your ex. He nodded, voice tight. I have to go. Now. I blinked. Wait, what? My party, our friends, this cake, I planned this for months. You can't just leave. I'm sorry, he said, stepping back. It's serious. She might not make it if I don't get there fast. I shook my head, disbelief mixing with anger. Asim, this is ridiculous. I'm standing here, everything ready, everyone here for me, and you're leaving for her. I don't have a choice, he said, gripping his jacket. She's hurt badly. I can't just. You're choosing her over me. I shouted, my voice cracking. People nearby turned to look, whispers starting to spread. Sarah stepped closer. Ignore the whispers. Just focus on yourself. I bit my lip, trying to calm my racing heart. This isn't just whispers, Sarah. He's literally abandoning me in front of everyone. Guests were staring now. Someone muttered, wow, what a timing. I felt heat rise to my cheeks. Humiliation, betrayal, and confusion tangled together. Asim, I thought. I thought I mattered, I said, voice barely above a whisper. He hesitated, torn. You do, you really do. But Hina, she's in danger. I can't just. Danger? Danger doesn't cancel birthdays. I snapped. We planned this, I waited all week, and now you're leaving. I'm sorry, he said again, this time quieter, almost pleading. I shook my head, tears threatening to fall. Sorry doesn't fix this. He glanced at the crowd, then at me, finally pulling on his jacket. I have to go. I wish things were different. And just like that, he was gone. I sank onto the couch, staring at the empty doorway. He left, my husband left, for her. I whispered to myself, voice hollow. Sarah sat beside me, hand on my shoulder. I'm so sorry. This isn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. I know, I said, but my heart ached. I can't believe he'd choose her over me. On my birthday. In front of everyone. People make mistakes, Sarah said gently. Some mistakes leave scars, sure. But you'll get through this. I let out a shaky laugh. Scars. Yeah, beautiful way to start my year. Another friend leaned over. He'll regret this. Trust me. Anyone who leaves someone like you. I forced a nod, but my mind kept replaying his panicked face, the way he didn't even look back. Hina, that name already felt like poison. The room felt colder, quieter. The laughter was still there, but it didn't reach me anymore. I had been abandoned. And I knew this was only the beginning. I sank onto the couch, staring at the leftover decorations, the half-eaten cake, and the empty doorway Asim had vanished through. My hands shook, and I whispered, how could he just leave? Sarah plopped down beside me. He made a terrible choice, but that doesn't make you any less important. I know, I said, voice tight. I can't stop thinking about it. Want to talk about it? She asked softly. I hesitated. It's like, 1 minute we were laughing, and the next, he was gone. And for her. Hina. Sarah frowned. Hina again. That girl always had a hold on him. I nodded, biting my lip. I thought I was overreacting, but, no. I feel stupid for trusting him. You're not stupid, Sarah said firmly. He made the choice, not you. I buried my face in my hands. But I loved him. I still do, even now. I keep remembering how we were, the early days, him leaning over me at the park, whispering, "You're my world," how I believed every word. And you weren't wrong to believe him, Sarah whispered. He just didn't value you the way you deserved. A tear slipped down my cheek. I replay everything. Every small lie, every little excuse. I even remember when he cancelled our first anniversary dinner for work. And I made excuses for him. I thought, maybe he was just stressed. Sarah placed a hand on mine. See? Patterns. You've always noticed, but you let it slide because you loved him. There's nothing wrong with that. I shook my head. It still hurts. Watching him leave like that, in front of everyone. My birthday. Everyone saw him choose her over me. I feel humiliated. You should feel hurt, she said gently. But don't let this shame stick. That's his doing, not yours. I exhaled shakily, trying to steady myself. I keep asking myself, did I do something wrong? Was I not enough? No. You were more than enough, Sarah said firmly. He's the one who failed. His choices are his own. I remember the way he smiled at me on our first date, I said quietly, how I felt like nothing else mattered in the world. I thought he really cared. I trusted him with my heart completely. Sarah's eyes softened. You did. And that trust, it wasn't misplaced. You just trusted the wrong person. I laughed bitterly. Wrong person. Yeah. I keep thinking about all the little neglects I ignored. The times he seemed distant, distracted, and I let it slide. Maybe I should have seen the signs. You did see them, Sarah said gently. You just hoped. And hoping isn't a crime. I wiped my eyes and nodded, my mind spinning. I don't even know if I want to confront him. Part of me wants to scream at him, tell him how low he sank. Another part, just wants to lock myself away and pretend he never existed. Both are valid, Sarah said. But I think confronting him might give you closure, even if it's painful. I guess, I murmured, staring at the cake. Closure, yeah. But it still hurts. Every laugh, every toast, it's all tangled with betrayal now. I loved him so much, and he chose her. Over me. My heart feels shattered, Sarah. I know, she whispered, squeezing my hand. And that heartbreak? It's allowed. But remember, heartbreak doesn't mean defeat. You'll get through this. You have to. For you. I leaned back, letting her words sink in, and for the first time since the party, I took a deep breath. For me, I repeated quietly. I was scrolling through my phone, trying to distract myself, when I noticed a message pop up on a Sims account. My hands froze. Wait, what's this? I whispered to myself. Sarah leaned over. What is it? I swallowed hard. It's messages. Between him and Hina. Her eyes widened. Hina. Again. You mean after everything? I nodded, voice shaking. Look at this, I miss you, I can't stop thinking about you. And, oh my God. I wish you were here. Sarah gasped. That's not just friendly. No. No, it's intimate. Too intimate, I said, gripping my phone. My chest tightened. It wasn't a one-time thing. She's been controlling him. Pulling him back, even now. I called my cousin Zara. Zara, you need to see this. It's serious. What happened? She asked. I just found messages. Between Asim and Hina. He's involved. Emotionally. Zara's voice was sharp. Are you serious? After all the drama? That's insane. He left you for her on your birthday. I know. And now I see it, every excuse, every delay, it was all for her. I feel humiliated, Zara. Betrayed. Angry. Don't blame yourself, she said firmly. You didn't cause this. He did. I exhaled shakily. I keep thinking, how could I have been so blind? I defended him. I made excuses for all his work emergencies, all those nights he came home late, all the distance I ignored because I thought, maybe he needed space. Sarah leaned closer. It's human to hope, to forgive. You just didn't see her manipulations until now. I ran a hand through my hair. It's worse than I imagined. Look at this, you always understand me like no one else, I can't survive without you. And he replies, he actually writes back. My husband, in love with her emotionally while pretending to love me. Sarah put a hand on my shoulder. I'm so sorry. This isn't just betrayal, it's gaslighting. And she's clearly skilled at it. I feel sick. I can't believe I ignored the signs for so long, I whispered. The late nights, the distant glances, the excuses. All of it. I let it slide, thinking he was stressed, or tired, or maybe I was just too trusting. Zara's voice softened. You loved him. You were loyal. That's not weakness, it's courage. You just trusted the wrong person. I shook my head. I keep thinking about our past, the promises, the trips, the small notes he used to leave for me. Were they ever real? Or was it all part of Hina's influence? Sarah's hand squeezed mine. Some memories are real, some are tainted. But what matters is what you do now. You can't change him, but you can decide how you respond. I felt tears sting my eyes. I wanted to believe in him. I really did. And now? I feel like I don't even know him. Like everything I trusted was a lie. You know him now, Zara said quietly. And that knowledge, it's painful, but it's power too. You can choose to protect yourself. I stared at my phone again, the messages glaring at me like daggers. Protect myself, yeah. I have to. But it hurts so much. I trusted him, Sarah. I really did. And you'll heal, Sarah said gently. Step by step. But first, you see the truth. And that's the hardest part. I nodded slowly, swallowing the lump in my throat. Yeah, seeing the truth hurts. But maybe I needed to see it all along. I found him in the living room, pacing, phone clutched tightly. My chest burned, but I forced myself to speak. Asim. We need to talk. Now. He looked up, eyes narrowing. About what? About everything. Hina. The messages. Leaving me on my birthday. Do you even realize what you've done? He threw his hands up. Oh, come on. You're overreacting. I left because it was serious, okay? Serious? I snapped. Serious doesn't mean abandoning me in front of everyone. I trusted you. And you chose her. Sarah appeared in the doorway. Maybe give her a minute, Asim. She deserves that. I am giving her a minute, he said, voice tight. But you're blowing this out of proportion. Blowing it out of proportion. I stepped closer, anger spiking. I saw the messages. Every single word. You're in love with her emotionally while pretending to love me. He exhaled sharply, running a hand through his hair. You're jealous. That's all this is. You're imagining things. Jealous? I laughed bitterly, the sound hollow. Jealous doesn't make someone leave their wife for their ex's emergency on her birthday. Don't you dare call me jealous. A neighbor peered through the slightly open door. Is everything okay? I'll be fine, I said quickly, hoping to keep them out of it. Just, some personal matters. Asim glared. See? Everyone thinks you're overreacting. Maybe you should calm down. No. I shouted. I won't calm down. I can't. You broke my trust. I loved you, Asim, completely. And you chose her over me. Over everything we had. He stepped back, voice rising. You think I wanted this? You think I enjoy being pulled in two directions? Hina, she's unstable. She needs me. And what about me? I asked, voice trembling. Did I mean nothing? Was I just a convenience until she needed you again? He shook his head, frustration clear. No, it's not like that. I love you, but this. I can't explain everything. You wouldn't understand. I don't need to understand. I yelled, tears burning. I needed respect, loyalty, and honesty. You gave me none. You lied, hid things, and left me humiliated. Sarah stepped closer, whispering, breathe. Don't let him twist your feelings. I swallowed hard, nodding. I just can't. I trusted you completely, Asim. And now. I don't even know you anymore. He ran a hand down his face, silence falling for a heartbeat. I didn't mean to hurt you. You didn't mean to hurt me. I echoed, voice cold. But you did. Every choice, every word, every secret you kept, it hurt me. And now. I have to decide if I even want you in my life. He looked at me, conflicted, but I didn't wait for an answer. I turned toward the door, Sarah beside me, and left the room, feeling both shattered and strangely empowered. Asim walked in, holding a thin folder. My stomach dropped before I even saw the papers inside. I need you to sign these, he said casually, almost smiling. I froze. Wait, what? Divorce papers, he replied, voice neutral, as if he were talking about groceries. I blinked, speechless. You're joking, right? This isn't a joke. It's not, he said, shrugging. I've thought about it. It's better for both of us. I laughed bitterly. Better? Better for who? You. Or her? Did you sign them on her advice? Sarah stepped forward, hand on my shoulder. Ignore him. Just breathe. I turned to her, voice shaking. Sarah, can you believe this? My birthday, my party, and now this? It's like my entire life is being erased. Asim's eyes flicked toward me. It's not about the party. It's about us. We've drifted too far. Drifted? I shouted. Drifted? I trusted you. I gave you everything. And you chose her. Over me. Over our life. He sighed. You're making this harder than it has to be. I didn't want it to come to this, but nothing, I snapped, gripping the papers. Nothing justifies this betrayal. Nothing. Do you have any idea how humiliating this is? Sarah whispered, it's okay. You'll get through this. You're stronger than you think. I loved him, I murmured, more to myself than anyone. I really loved him. And now, nothing. Just these papers. This is what love leaves behind. Asim's expression softened slightly. I didn't mean to hurt you. You didn't mean to hurt me. I echoed, voice low and dangerous. Do you know what that even sounds like? It's a lie. You left me. You lied. And now you want me to accept this calmly? I'm sorry, he said quietly. Truly. I laughed, hollow and bitter. Sorry. That's it? After everything? You can hate me, he said, finally meeting my eyes. I understand. I don't want this to hurt you more than it already has. I stared at him, at the casual way he had handed me the end of everything. I can't. I can't believe you. I can't believe I ever trusted you. My dreams, my plans, everything shattered because of you and her. And you act like it's normal. Sarah held my hand. You're not alone. You'll rebuild. And one day, this will be a story you survived. I exhaled, the first small relief mingling with my heartbreak. Survived, yeah. I have to survive. For me. Not for him. Not for anyone else. Asim glanced at the papers one last time. You'll understand someday. I shook my head, my voice steady now. No. I understand now. And I understand I can't let this define me. Goodbye, Asim. He hesitated, then left silently. I looked at the papers in my hand, the symbol of betrayal. And for the first time, I felt the faintest spark of control, my life, my choice, my recovery. I sat at my desk, fingers flying over the keyboard, pretending the work would erase the chaos in my mind. The screen blurred, and I muttered, "Focus, just focus." Sarah popped her head in. "How's the new project going?" "Better than my mood," I said, forcing a small smile. "But I'm trying. I have to." "You're doing great," she said, leaning against the doorframe. "I can see it. You're stronger than you realize." I laughed bitterly. "Stronger? You have no idea. Every post I see from Asim and Hina, every happy photo, every stupid comment, we make the perfect couple, it's like salt in the wound." Sarah rolled her eyes. "Ignore it. That's their circus, not your life." I know, I muttered, rubbing my temples. "But it's hard. Even when I try to focus on myself, it sneaks in, reminding me of everything." "You can't let it," she said firmly. "Remember what Mr. Khan said last week? About channeling pain into action?" I frowned. "Yeah, but how do I actually do that? Every time I try to enjoy something, there's this tiny voice reminding me of betrayal." Sarah smiled. "Start small. Hobbies, work, family. One thing at a time. And remember, you're not doing it to forget him, you're doing it to reclaim yourself." I exhaled, nodding slowly. "Okay, one step at a time." Later, my phone buzzed. It was my cousin Zara. "Lunch?" she asked. "Sure," I replied. "I need the company." At the cafe, Zara leaned across the table. "You're handling this well. I see it. You're not wallowing, you're rebuilding." "I try," I said. "But sometimes I feel like I'm carrying all the heartbreak in my chest. Even minor updates from Asim on social media. I can't help but feel burned." Zara finished for me. "Yes. Exactly. Burned. But then I remind myself, I didn't fail. He failed us. I didn't betray myself, I just trusted someone who wasn't ready to be faithful." "Exactly," she said. "And now, every time you feel that burn, redirect it. Go to the gym, pick up painting, write, cook, whatever makes you feel alive. That's your revenge on heartbreak." I laughed softly. Revenge on heartbreak. I like that. I think I need it. Over the next days, I threw myself into my routines. Work became a refuge. Early mornings, late nights, deadlines, they all reminded me that I could control something, even if my heart felt broken. Sarah visited one evening, carrying a small notebook. "Thought you might like this," she said. I opened it to see sketches, motivational quotes, and prompts for self-reflection. "You remembered I wanted this?" I asked, touched. "Of course," she said. "This is about you. About healing, about finding your own strength." I nodded, feeling a flicker of hope. "Yeah, strength. I think I'm starting to feel it. Slowly, but it's there." Later, alone, I looked at my reflection in the mirror. I can do this. I will do this. No one else's choices define me. Not Asim, not Hina, just me. I took a deep breath and smiled faintly. For the first time in weeks, I felt a spark, not happiness, not yet, but determination. And that was enough to start picking up the pieces of my shattered life. I was at work when the first whisper reached me. "Did you hear what Hina did?" my colleague asked, lowering her voice. I tilted my head. "No, what happened?" "She lied about the project. Completely. Asim covered for her, and now the board found out. He's in trouble too," she said, shaking her head. I exhaled slowly, barely hiding a small smile. "Serves them right," I murmured. Sarah leaned over from the next desk. "Hearing about karma unfolding?" I nodded. "It's strange, relief and satisfaction all at once. I feel lighter." Later, I ran into Asim in the elevator. He looked different. Exhausted. Older. Regretful. I heard about the project," I said softly. He avoided my eyes. "Yeah. I messed up. I should have seen it coming." "Should have seen what coming?" I asked, tone measured. "The lies? The betrayal? Or the fact that you can't juggle someone else's chaos and your life with me?" He swallowed hard. "Both, I guess. I never wanted anyone to get hurt. And yet," I said quietly, "you hurt me. Deeply." "I know," he admitted, voice low. "I can't fix it. I'm sorry. Truly." I nodded, letting his words sink in. Sorry doesn't erase the choices. You'll have to live with them, like she will. "I will," he said, eyes finally meeting mine. "I just wish I could have done things differently." "You can't undo the past, Asim," I said firmly. "But you can face the consequences. You're finally learning that." At lunch, Zara called. "Guess what? Everyone's talking. Even our mutual friends are seeing the truth about her. People are starting to avoid them. Socially, professionally, they're isolating themselves." I laughed softly, a release of weeks of tension. I didn't have to do anything. Karma did it on its own. Sarah smiled. "And it validates everything you went through. You weren't imagining the betrayal. It's real, and justice is happening naturally." That evening, I returned home and noticed the empty seat at the dining table where Asim used to sit. It used to feel lonely, now it feels freeing. I placed a small gift I had bought myself months ago on the table, a symbol of the life I'm reclaiming. I whispered to myself, "This is mine. All mine." Later, a letter arrived. It was unsigned, but I knew who sent it. I opened it carefully. Inside, a simple note, "I see now. I lost more than I realized. I hope you find happiness." I folded it slowly, letting the words settle. No anger, no bitterness, just closure. I set it aside, a final acknowledgement that the past is behind me. Sarah called that night. "You sound different. Lighter." "I feel it," I admitted. Watching the consequences unfold, seeing them face the fallout, it's strange, but I feel vindicated. Not revengeful, just peaceful. "Good," she said. "You earned that peace. Remember it. Let it guide you." I looked around my apartment, the empty spaces, the quiet corners, the little reminders of my old life. Each one felt symbolic now, a reminder that I survived, that betrayal couldn't break me. And for the first time in months, I allowed myself a small, genuine smile. Karma had done its work. I was free. I sat at the cafe, sipping my coffee, watching the morning sunlight bounce off the tables. "Feels good, just me," I murmured, smiling softly. Sarah leaned across the table, grinning. It suits you. Independent, radiant, unstoppable. I laughed lightly. Unstoppable? Maybe a little dramatic. But, yeah, I feel lighter. Stronger. Like I'm finally me again. You are, she said firmly. Look at how far you've come. One step at a time. I nodded, remembering the months of heartbreak, betrayal, and self-doubt. I never thought I'd get here. Remember the divorce papers? The betrayal? It all felt like I'd drown. And yet here you are, she said. Standing tall. Choosing yourself. I smiled, feeling the warmth of her words. I started small. Work, hobbies, family. I even painted again. And every step, every little achievement, reminded me that I'm more than someone's mistake. Sarah chuckled. And you didn't even need revenge. Karma handled itself. You just focused on you. I nodded, feeling proud. Exactly. Seeing the consequences unfold, watching them face their own choices, it reinforced what I already knew. I'm enough. I always have been. Later that evening, Zara called. Guess what? I finally got tickets for the art exhibit you've been dying to see. Want to go? Absolutely, I replied. It's perfect. I feel like I'm reclaiming parts of me I didn't realize I'd lost. At the gallery, I wandered among the paintings, each stroke and color reminding me of resilience. A soft voice beside me said, "You have a keen eye for detail." I turned to see someone smiling kindly. "Thanks," I said, meeting their gaze. "I appreciate that." He nodded, and we talked about the art, the stories behind the pieces. It was light, easy, and for a moment, I forgot about betrayal, about the past. Just me, enjoying the moment. On my way home, I texted Sarah, "Today reminded me. I'm capable of joy again. Independent, whole, free." Her reply was instant, "That's my girl. Keep shining." I laughed, feeling a lightness I hadn't felt in months. Memories of a sim surfaced, birthdays, trips, laughter, but they didn't sting. They were lessons, reminders of growth, of knowing my worth. At home, I poured a glass of wine, raising it to the quiet apartment. To me, I whispered. To trust, to strength, to moving on. To never letting anyone diminish my worth again. I settled on the couch, journal in hand, writing down milestones and reflections. Each word reinforced my independence, my resilience, my right to happiness. Sarah called again, laughing. "Don't write too much. Live a little." I grinned. I'm learning to embrace it all, my strength, my freedom, and yes, maybe even love again, someday. But today is about me. I looked around, inhaled deeply, and smiled. This is my life. My choice. My happiness. And I've finally reclaimed it. I walked into the room, the soft glow of candles reflecting in the glass walls. A small celebration awaited me, friends, laughter, and the unmistakable warmth of choice. Sarah waved from across the room. "You made it. Happy new chapter." I smiled, feeling lighter than I have in months. "Thanks, Sarah. This feels different. Mine." "Completely yours," she said, raising her glass. "No baggage, no past. Just you." I nodded, thinking of Asim and Hina. The memories were no longer sharp pain, they were lessons, symbols of growth. "Funny how life works," I murmured. "What's funny?" Zara asked, joining us. "Everything I thought I'd lost, I've reclaimed," I said. "Trust, happiness, freedom. I needed their absence to truly find myself." Sarah clinked her glass against mine. "Here's to that. To growth, resilience, and kicking toxic energy out of your life." I laughed softly. Exactly that. Later, I stepped toward the small birthday cake on the table. One candle flickered, tiny but bright. This is for me, I whispered, inhaling deeply. For choosing myself. A friend teased, make a wish. I smiled. I already have. A wish for strength, clarity, and joy, all mine, without needing anyone else to validate it. As I blew out the candle, I felt a release. Not just from heartbreak, but from the lingering shadow of betrayal. I was free, finally free. Sarah nudged me. See that? That's your power, right there. I nodded, watching the faces around me. Friends who had stood by me, laughed with me, reminded me that I was never alone. I see it, I said softly. And I feel it too. Every day now, it's mine to live. My phone buzzed. A message from Zara, you've come so far. Proud of you. Keep shining. I grinned, typing back, thanks. I'm finally living for me. A soft chuckle came from behind. Looks like someone's thriving. I turned to see a new friend I'd met recently. I admitted. It's empowering. I never realized how much I needed to reclaim myself until now. You've done it beautifully, she said. And this is just the beginning. I nodded, feeling the truth in her words. It is. A beginning, free from old shadows. Every choice, every laugh, every small victory, all mine. I stepped back, taking in the room, the laughter, the light, the warmth. This was my life. My growth. My celebration. Not just of a birthday, but of survival, of strength, of new beginnings. And for the first time in months, I let myself fully smile, knowing I had turned the page. The past had no hold, karma had spoken, and I was ready for everything ahead, confident, whole, and unapologetically me.